G16 Sport, a new platform for Speedway fans. Hundreds of videos, the latest action on demand and free to view. Plus, the Speedway show, Dishing the Dirt. Check out the pay-per-view section for upcoming live streams. Browse Speedway merch and other awesome items in the online shop. Join G16 Nation. Scroll through your newsfeed, post photos and videos, join groups, and connect with the Dirt community. Visit g16sports.co.nz today.
Hey, welcome along. Good to have your company. Yes, I am back doing it properly this Wednesday. It's good to be back here on Cockpit Media. Welcome along, and it's good to have your company back with me, Craig Booker. You can see with me as well. How you going there, Books?
Oh, I'm good, mate. Shall I explain? I might just quickly explain to the viewers tonight that Reno sounds a bit like the deep-voiced man there and a crackly. That's because Reno's decided to help us to still continue. A true professional. He's sitting there with COVID, so don't talk too close to the mic, mate. I don't want to catch it.
No,
all right. Did we no fist pumps tonight? Like that.
Day two of it. I got it yesterday, so I'm still doing what I have to do, and there's no way I could turn down the show, and let the viewers down and all our fans who love watching the show. So, even though I may sound like this, it's all good, mate. It's all about our fans, all about the people that jump in every Wednesday to be part of our show, and I might have to go through the worst of it. I already see Big Spraybrooks on board, Dave Thomas always there, Alcin Tewani, and Madu Goodley. I think Madu just had his birthday recently as well. And I'm down, I'm a bit quiet. All right, I might just talk a bit louder, see if I can get closer to the mic.
I'll turn mine down a bit too, Kins, and then they better turn their sound up, and that might fix the problem. There you go. So talk now, Kins. How's that?
All right. See, are we all good?
There we go.
So
that's
1,
a bit
2,
better.
3, yeah. Hey Elvis, hey Dave Thomas, hey, please release me. No, just joking. Hey, yeah, welcome along. If you didn't quite hear earlier on in the piece, sound a bit different. Day 2 of my COVID, so much better. Thanks, Richie. Hey, we've got Richie here saying that. Good evening, Scott Honeybone, James Misson, who's watching at the moment, Ross Ashby, who we caught up with last week as well. Thanks, Horse, for joining us. Keep the questions coming in throughout this evening's show, but I want to talk about Richie Neekorter, especially Richie, but also a credit before we get into talking cockpit racing, G16 NZ Super Saloon Series. The guy that created the new track. He has spent weeks on this, Books, and you know this, Steve Emmett. Got to give a big round of applause for Dirt NZ.
Look, the time and effort that he has put into not only the mod, but to get this Beachlands track we released Sunday afternoon to our community and to our series was incredible. The guy put in unbelievable amounts of time. A big thank you to Marie, his partner as well, who put up with him sitting in the computer room getting it done. Listen, that track topped our G16 Sport E-Series off just fantastic, didn't it? I mean, it just topped the whole series, made it just was a great ending to the series. Even the final race was just, the last corner, 3 wide, one puts it backwards in the wall, 2 come out of the corner side by side, and it's a bumper for the win. It just, look, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's on our video section. But yeah, it's fantastic, mate. Dirt did a fantastic job on Beachlands. All the people that have watched it have said the track looked fantastic, which is great for him, just awesome, mate. Can't say enough. Yeah,
exactly. Hey, just going through the winners, actually, the man himself, Steve Emmett, is now the new 3 NZ. 2 NZ, Mark Eagle, known as Mental One. No, not even a grass cut. He did it all legal and got there in the 2 NZ. But Richie Neekorter from down there in Wanganui, 1 NZ. And actually, Richie, overall, some of the racing, he did it with one arm. But he actually won the overall point standing. So very similar to those top 3 guys, just in different orders. Third overall was Mark Eagle. Second was Steve Emmett. And first, Richie Neekorter. So all around, great effort by the top 3. But aside from that, great effort by everyone who took part in the series. And noticeable, some drivers actually excelled in the series,
Oh,
got better and better. So, kudos, credit to you, all of you actually, for putting in the work, but also biggest thank you goes out to Garage 16.
mate, look, the support from Aaron and Vince at Garage 16 has been exceptional. They not only support us, but they support a lot of drivers out there in the real world racing as well, especially in the modifieds. And Garage 16, Aaron, finished 16th overall. So how's that? Perfect. Hey,
totally, mate.
And a few movers and shakers that I thought did really well was Devil Daniel Corrin, fantastic series, and Macca for his first ever series. Brad Lane's first one ever, and he just about got a top spot on the podium. So, it was overall fantastic series, mate. And a credit to everybody that raced and to Dirt organising it all as well. It was fantastic.
Yeah, totally agree 100% there as well. Hey, keep those questions popping in, because some of these questions and how it's going to work will be attached to some of the prizes we're going to give away tonight as well. But also, just to let everyone know too, because it's been a long time coming, an event that's going to get underway this coming weekend. Obviously, with COVID over the past many months that's been around, last 2 years or so, but a particular event we're looking forward to. Unfortunately, with me having COVID day 2 today, I'm not going to be there down in the beautiful Hawke's Bay, celebrating with the Cockpit Boys. It's the 10th year celebration. And Books, I know you are happy, mate. You've got the big countdown going down.
I am so excited, Kins, mate. I've been wanting this 10-year celebration. We're almost at 11 years. So the COVID's put us back a bit, but we're going to celebrate it this weekend. My first beer, because I said on the stream here a few weeks back, because Richie got North and South Island Championship, and I said if he gets the triple, I'll be having a bloody beer for him. Because then he got the triple. So on Saturday, my first beer I am going to have for Richie for his triples. And another thing, people, watch the afternoon on our live. We're going to go live at about probably between 1 and 2 and do a live presentation of the trophies to the winners. And our sponsor is going to be there to present those trophies. And then also we'll put the crowd round, and you better put some of those, some faces to those names you've been hearing us talk about all weekend. All the series. So some of those drivers that you've heard me say the names, I say Mental, Dirk, Kinzer, E.T., Richie, all these names, you better put some names to them. Not all of them are going to be there, but live this Saturday between 1 and 2, the presentation of the trophies. So, boom. That's us.
Boom. Looking forward to 1 till 2 o'clock. Watch it live on Cockpit Cockpit Racing and Media. That's the new name for the Pacer page. Glad you're doing it between 1 and 2, because later on that evening, who knows what may unfold.
I don't think we want to show what's going on after 2 o'clock. There might be a few quiet ales ahead of celebration. So yeah. Hey, listen, kids, our prizes tonight, mate. Should we tell the people about that, shall we? So they know we've got 2 prizes up for grabs tonight, haven't we, mate?
Yeah, you go hard and tell them what it is. Yep.
So the poster you've seen that is out there showing the interview tonight of Dan, we are going to print that out, laminate it, and Dan is going to sign it, and that's going to go to a lucky winner. And also, Dan has told us that he is going to do a one-off design T-shirt and sign it for a lucky winner tonight for best question. So there you go. He is going to get a shirt made, one off, and sign it and give it away to someone tonight for watching our show, join in the conversation, and give us a good question for him, and you may win yourself a one-off Dan Corrin shirt signed. And that's pretty special, mate, because he's a pretty good driver. He's right up there, and he's a class act, is our Dan.
Oh, he's okay, bro. He's all right. He's not any good on sim racing. I remember back in the KSR days. Anyway, without any further ado, we better bring in our special guest for the night, eh?
Oh, shivers, let me just make sure I get this sorted
Let's see
properly.
If he's floating around, eh?
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I push some buttons properly before I.
We'll see how we go. Hey, what's good though, everyone that's waiting for Dan to pop in, at least on my phone compared to last week, which was a bloody bugger when we had the busters on. But there he is. Let's see if he's any good at bloody online racing too. Dan Corrin, how you going, mate?
Good. Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So let's tell everyone the injury. You were going to join us obviously a couple of weeks back, mate. We had to reshuffle a few things around. Did a bit of damage at work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, was doing something not so smart. Holding a piece of steel I was cutting with one hand and cutting it with the other with a disc grinder, and unfortunately, grinder grabbed and slipped through and went through a couple of my tendons in my thumb. So ended up having surgery on the thumb to reattach those tendons, and yeah, it was a bit of a bummer because yeah, obviously we were looking forward to maybe one last bash on the racetrack, and yeah, obviously everything else that goes with it. Been in a cast for 6 weeks and
Yeah.
everything else, so
Mm.
but it's all good.
It's not just affected your racing, but I'll talk more about other things you had planned as well, whether or not that's affected or as things been rescheduled away from motorsport, that is, from the speedway world. Let's rewind the clock way back to young Dan Corrin. When did this all start for you, mate? How did you get involved, or how did you get to sniff the methylated spirits and everything like that? How did they come along, the old hot dogs and everything like that? When did that all start, mate?
Oh man, yeah. Well, I did motocross before speedway, so that was
Okay.
my main. I was doing that since I was probably 4 years old, and I've been racing since then. So been lucky, you know. My dad's been a motorsport addict ever
Yeah.
since I was a kid. So um, obviously had his support the whole way through, and we sort of got to when I was about 12 years old, and we were looking at either upgrading the motorbike or looking at something else like mini stocks.
Yeah. Okay.
And because I'd had a few accidents in motocross, like as you do, it was probably time for a bit of a change. And speedway kind of appealed to me, and obviously Dad had been involved over the years, so got stuck into mini stocks and had a good few years in them, and
Yeah.
and then was looking at doing a production saloon, and then Dad had a Skyline production saloon at the time,
Okay.
which was one of the only rear wheel drive cars out there, and that was possibly going to be my ride once I come out of mini stocks. But
Wow.
we were lucky enough; we had some people that have been involved in speedway for a long time that sort of talked to Dad, like Brett Morley was one of them, and talked to Dad and said we should chuck him in a saloon. I think it'd go well, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and jumped in a saloon instead, and yeah, made my way up from there, and yeah, just been lucky to have yeah, obviously my dad's support, and then just close people that you know, saw something in me, and yeah.
Well, it's like Craig Booker said right at the start there before he crossed over to you, because you are a talented driver. I've seen you race over many years, and I know one guy who can actually agree with this as well. I meant methanol earlier. When Corrin was a whippersnapper, and that's Sean Kingy, DK. Sean would have known you from racing back in many years. Your early racing, was that at Gisborne?
Yeah. Started in Gizzy. Yeah, grew up in good old Gizzy, so live in the mountain now. But yeah, it's sort of. I was pretty lucky when I started mini stocks. There was about 30 drivers in Gisborne at the time, like mini stock drivers. So the competition was hard out. You know, you had Gooches. Who else? Ben MacArthur was one.
Yep. Yep.
Mine's gone blank. The Kirks,
Yep.
James Kirk. You know James Kirk from Teams Racing.
Just so many, eh? So many over the years you've raced along. See, it's the injuries has taken its toll a little bit. No, I'm just joking. But look, it sounded like you had an exciting time, and it's moved on through to your limited saloon back in the days, and I know you were successful with that. Hey, just firstly, before I carry on talking to you around at that class of driving, Mauri Goodley, mate, happy birthday for the other day as well. I know you celebrated your birthday just recently. Thanks for the question. I can chuck in a 124M drawing as well,
that.
team.
Yeah.
So, Mauri, yes, appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Legend.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. I've seen his drawings actually, and they've been bloody awesome. He's a great drawer. So yes, thank you for that, Madu. We gladly accept that on behalf of Cockpit Media. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for that. Richie Nikora, thanks for the awesome prizes. Yeah, that's all good. Big spray book. Yeah, it will be cool to win. Richie saying up the dub. Look, the list just goes on. Kylie Wadsworth, hey guys. Garrett 16, yeah, up the dub there, Richie. And I see Dan, where's it? Dan Corrin, actually. Daniel Corrin said, Dirt NZ for Prime Minister. So, you know.
They all like it, don't they, eh? They all like them.
They all love it. They all love it at the moment. Keep the questions coming in. Dan and Ethan Cook, DK saying, Captain Kirk, yeah, there's a whole lot of lists there. Even racing now the Cowling team for a while. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Mark Fluffy Crocott, I was just talking about Fluffy before. He's playing some golf. He's actually watching at the same time. Mate, the Limited Saloon. So that all started all those years gone back. Mate, you were wicked. You were a machine in that. I remember watching you at Bay Park.
Yeah, no, I had a good few years in that class. Yeah, the last one in particular was stand out for me anyway. Managed to all come together and win a lot of races and have a lot of good results. But yeah, man, like we actually kind of, because when we were living in Gizzy, we were traveling to Bay Park to race. Because at the time there was probably about 30 limited saloons in there, and at Bay Park racing every weekend. So it was like, if you want to get better, you got to go there. Because yeah, like Brent McClymont, Terry Corrin, and guys like that are racing every weekend, and they were sort of leading the way at the time. So yeah, so we raced, contracted to Bay Park over Gizzy, and it went a long way. Like I learned so much in such a short time, and managed to gain some skills, and eventually it all came together.
Yeah. You got a couple of titles, didn't you? Didn't you win quite big in the Limited?
Yeah, I won a New Zealand title in my last.
I thought so.
Awesome.
But it took a few years, man. Like we got close lots of times. Like I had two 4NZs and maybe a 5NZ, like really close, but not quite, you know. So managed to pull it all together in my last season in Saloons, and that was pretty special because it was at my home track as well in Gizzy. So
Someone's just telling us that at your home track.
Yeah, James Misson. Is it James Misson? Have I got that right? You know, James?
Yeah.
4 seasons trying to get number one on the door and one on your home in your hometown on your home track as well. Man, that is cool. Hard work pays off, and it does. Dan, let's talk about the hard work, the work that goes in that particular class. You're racing with all the top guys. It's the only way you're going to develop and get better within yourself. There is a lot of hard work that goes into racing. I know you do stuff on the fitness side of things. Were you doing any fitness type of stuff or anything physically to help you get prepared for race weekends?
Yeah, for me, it's more of an outlet to work out and do something outside of racing. Like certainly, there's benefits for the longer races, like 30 lappers or 25 lappers that are a little bit like physically taxing, but mostly, pretty much anyone can jump in and do 30 laps. I think it's the being able to like be with the adrenaline pumping and your heart rate high and everything going on, being able to focus and just not kind of lose your cool or things like that. So I do a lot of running for that, which I find good because it's like just focusing on keeping one foot in front of the other and just keep going and just keep going. I feel like that's helped me a lot. Other than that, it's an outlet. Like you get such a high adrenaline rush and buzz from racing. It's hard to match that in anything else. So it's like for some reason I get a similar buzz when I work out, and it's just worked out for me where I go to a place and in your mind and you just sort of, I don't know, everything just stops and you just kind of I don't know. Like
You're in your zone. You're in your zone. You're in the right place where everything is 100% committed from all that work, the hard work, like they're commenting here in the chat. It just gets delivered into what you're focused on. You're 100%. You're a hard worker, and whatever you set your mind to reach to that top end goal, you're hoping to give 110% all the time, eh? You're a adrenaline junkie, mate. You're an energized bunny. You know, you're hard out, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, it's like
Yeah.
genuinely, it's like a drug when you're racing and you're like it's such an adrenaline dump, and then if you have some kind of success and you win,
Yeah.
like it multiplies it, you know. And it's so hard to match that in anything else in life. So I think it's important to keep some kind of grounding, you know, like you go to the gym and work out and you can't like I was saying to someone the other day, like kettlebells and weights don't care about how good you are on a racetrack. You know, it keeps you grounded to go do something that's hard. Yeah, because all those those wins and stuff, and you know, fans loving what you're doing. I think it's important to just keep grounded and don't get too ahead of yourself because I've definitely done that in the past and it sucks. Like
Yeah.
when things start going not so well. So.
Mate, 100% agree with you on that one there as well. Look, it sounds like you're a level-headed guy. Nelson Tiwani is watching, and Dan is a good racer, but also a good, humble dude. That pretty well wraps it up. Head doesn't explode, you know, and all that type of stuff when you have the big wins. You're pretty down to earth. But Alson says, stick to the outside line, Dan. Look, I've watched you do the outside line. I remember a big meeting down there, Burger King race down there at Blimmin Palmerston North. I can't remember, it was a feature at the series down here. You're on the outside. Is like, holy hell, my legs are going to town. I was jumping up and down on the seats. Go, Dan, go, Dan. I was buzzing out, mate.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. That's the best thing for me is like I just love putting it all on the line and risking everything, you know. It's to me like the best thing is coming out and hearing things like that, like, oh, I really enjoyed watching that, man. It was cool.
Yeah,
Friggin' love it, man.
There to entertain, eh? So I said to you when I talked to you that Saturday out at Miani there, gee, you were close to that wall, giving it heaps, man. It was awesome. Yeah. Hey, to people out there, if you're wondering why I'm still sitting here in the interview, it's because our man Reno's got the COVID and I'm here as backup in case he stops, but his normal talent has kicked in, as you can see, and he's going with the flow. Isn't it awesome to see, eh? Such commitment to cockpit with COVID. But there is a question here for you, Dan, that I thought was quite interesting. Oh, now it scrolled a bit. Hang on. Philip Shergold, I think I've got that right, said, how blown away was Dan when the community crowd funded his motor?
Yes.
A couple of seasons back when it cooked itself. How humble did you feel about that, mate?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. It was a weird time because like we'd sort of worked for so long to get to a point where we had a good solid package together, you know, and that engine that we had, it was like the best we'd ever had, and yeah, it just sucked because it just went up in flames so quick. But that's part of racing that happens, and the things that happened after with the fundraising that was done and stuff. Didn't expect any of it. Obviously, good mate Steve Daniel organised that and put that together. And to be honest, I was like, I was pretty in like a weird place at the time because it like I'd put so much emotion and work into the car to get to that point, and then it just went like that, gone. Like I wasn't really able to comprehend the amount of support that just came in overnight.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. So and to be honest, like it wasn't the greatest season after that. Like in terms of results, I still I was so obviously humbled by all their help. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I was just, for some reason it took a lot of wind out of my sails when that motor went, and yeah, but the amount of support was just like, oh man, I don't even know how to deal with this. This is too much.
You can tell you're
Like,
pretty. You can tell how you're actually. You can hear it in your voice now when you talk about it, mate. It was. You can tell that you appreciated it so much, from the people. Just hearing you talk about it, you can still hear a little bit of emotion in your voice over it. Really.
Yeah.
oh man, like yeah, absolutely. I just, like I say, didn't felt weird. Just
Mate,
it's like,
it just shows the speedway community in general, how much of a community and a bigger family we are right across the all spectrum of speedway sports. When it's a time to give and help, where it's in need of anything, it just shows how big it is, and the people who think about you and put you up there real high, mate. With the skills that you have, there's a lot of people in this good community that come out and will help up in any way they can. So, I can tell you got the emotions going on there, but hey, it was one of those tough times. You've turned it around and then you've bounced back and moved on through. Hey, Mark Crocott, Fluffy. Yeah, come on, cockpit in the off season, lol. Come and have some races with us. Actually, do you still have a computer, mate? Have you got anything like that? Because I last seen a little while back, you were selling everything.
yeah, like yeah. All I've got is the box, the computer box left.
So you need a
I sold
monitor and you
everything.
need a wheel and pedals. That's all you need.
Yeah, but and a bit of extra time as well. But,
Yeah.
yeah, man, like just trying to keep on top of the super saloon is hard, man. Like
Yeah.
it's just because if I do anything, I like to do it 100%. So
Yeah,
I
no.
can't. If I was to just drop in and do a race here and there, I'd probably really suck and embarrass myself. So I feel like I
Oh,
need to.
mate, you won't embarrass yourself. Look, I've got memories of you way back in the Kiwi Sim racing days. As a young Corrin, I remember talking all those years with you and your mates, and you always gave 100% every time we battled online. And a lot of the online guys that raced against you or with you can remember that. You're right. You gave 100%. You gave that much 100%. You had to leave the KSR, and then you started another community. You and your good mates, DKC. But we'll leave it at that. Oh, drop kick centrals. I'll leave it there, mate.
Oh yeah,
Good times though, eh, mate? Good times at the
yeah.
online racing.
Oh man, the best.
Well, just remember, if you turn up at Miani next season, mate, just give me a call before you get here and come around and try the sim. There you go. You can have a go on all the mods at my place. So,
Yeah, man, I'm keen.
Mate,
hey, listen, how did you?
You're a shit online, bro.
Yeah. You talked earlier about you started off in the standard saloons and went to super saloons. How big a difference was that transition, mate, between those two? Was there a big difference between the transition? Or were they pretty much similar, just more horsepower? How was that?
No, there's quite a difference. Just the intensity. It's obviously there's a horsepower difference, but the intensity of the competition, um, the speed, like if you get a real drivey track, you're going so much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the competition, I think I noticed is the biggest thing. Like in the super saloon class, like the guys are there to, everyone's there to. I mean, even in the saloon class, everyone's there to win, but in the super saloon class, everyone's there to really win. Like it's it's more do or die.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more on the line. Obviously, there's a bit more expense in it, and yeah, and the guys have been doing it. A lot of the guys that I raced have been doing it for a long time, and yeah, the competition level was just through the roof, and especially in the last few years. When I came into the class, it was the same time like Peter Dixon and Chris Cowling and Steve Cowling and like um, Sam Waddell, Bodie Aberson. Like there was so many guys that came into that class and were trying to make a name for themselves at the same time. So and of course you had Mark Osborne and the Flynns and guys like that were still super fast. So yeah, like it's been it's almost like that next level
Mm.
in terms of intensity, but in terms of driving craft and like uh, you know uh, just becoming a good driver, there's not a huge amount of difference because um, the fact that most of us guys were able to come from saloons and be competitive straight away right off the bat was
Mhm.
it was pretty cool. Um, Obviously, that's sort of the natural progression once you've done a lot in the saloon grade is to move up, and that's kind of how it works. And yeah, it's like I say, it's just the intensity is
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me.
It's something that you have respect for too. You like to get challenge yourself, and you just want to compete and get better and better. Look, a bigger, faster car. Carl Carpenter must have been following you, mate, for some time. Remember, like yesterday, talking earlier on around 3 titles in 1 year. He has a lot of respect for you, Dan. I've known you for a few years. This is Carl, one of the most humble, down to earth persons you'll ever meet. So yeah, a big fan for life there, mate. The list just carries on.
There's a
Yeah, just heaps of
Tracy
questions.
Jarrett there. We only have a few favourite drivers, and you are definitely one of them. You always have time for a chat. We absolutely love catching up with you and watching you race. You're the man. There you go, mate. How's that? The accolations keep coming, mate. It's good to see people. You got a great fan base out there, Dan. That's for sure.
Especially Scott Honeybone, he's down in Christchurch. He's always watching our show, mate. Always never short of a comment, and he just wanted to congratulate Dan on what he did down at the New Zealand Champs down in Christchurch and all that type of stuff, admitting he was at fault. So there you go, mate. Bit of kudos coming your way. Yeah, you gotta love that with the incident. So for a young fella, mate, you're right. Like Craig Booker said, you're a fan. Everyone loves Dan Corrin.
Huh? We'll get rid of that chant. We love Harley Robb and change it, shall we? We love Dan Corrin. There you go. People start singing that one. DK Sean Kingy said, "What's your favourite track now, mate? That you've raced quite a few. You've raced a lot of them."
Probably Cromwell, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That place is just awesome, man. Like super fast,
Yeah.
a lot of banking and uneven corners. You've got like a real tight real tight hairpin, and then a nice sweeper. But always seems to be well prepared. That track, always a good vibe. But yeah,
Mean.
probably one of my favorites for sure is that and Palmy. Palmy being the next on the list.
Wow.
Oh,
So you've raced nearly, how many bloody tracks have you? You've raced nearly all the tracks. Have you been all the way down? How far south have you been?
Been all the way down in Chicago, so like done
Jeez.
a lot of tracks. That was in DHL series days.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, we used to run around with the series that Steve Williams put together. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, been far down as Invercargill, and yeah, a lot of those tracks down there are pretty cool. Dunedin, which I think our national titles at next year should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we
yeah.
just raced ours there.
True.
Hey, Beachlands, we just raced our E-Series final there, didn't we? For our New Zealands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh shit! Who took it out?
Richie called it
MMJ took
back
out
in
the
day.
first spot. Yeah. He got North Islands, South Islands, and New Zealands in the
He was
season.
on fire, bro.
Wow.
And actually, because you've got a cast on, mate, he actually had an injury to his arm, so he raced some of that league season online with only one hand, actually. So,
All right.
yeah, he did it in an old what is this car box 5W?
5W. It's the now we can't remember. It'll pop up in a sec. You watch.
Yeah, he'll put it up there.
Richie will tell us. Jay Cole is out there trying to be smart. We might have to ban him.
I'm trying to think. Hey, Sean Kingy, mate, your good friend here. How was racing alongside the Cowlings for a few years?
Yeah, man, awesome. They're it's pretty awesome to be around those guys when they've got like so much knowledge and experience in the sport. Obviously, Morris has been involved in it since his, geez, I don't know how long, but a lot of success in a midget and a super saloon, and his, brought that knowledge to his two sons, and that experience just goes a long way. But obviously, Chris Cowling now doing amazing things, and Steve as well. Winning the New Zealand title. Yeah, man, it's really cool to surround yourself with guys like that because they're certainly successful in what they do.
They make you try harder, do they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Morris so composed and humble throughout. His boys having so much success and always keen to help anyone that's struggling or needs help. Just asking questions. He's been in it for that long. He's so knowledgeable, and it was really cool to race alongside those boys for a few years.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. The Cowley name's been around for so many years in Speedway and all sorts of classes, especially Morris, and then the boys have gone on through. And yeah, you're right. He's just so committed, has a passion and a heart for Speedway. And when he's got time to give, why not? And I bet you would have enjoyed your time with the Cowleys. Mark Crocott, do or die. All right, like when we raced at Cromwell. He came around the outside of me and clipped the wall and... well, the rest rolled. He remembers that, but
yeah,
rolled.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was gnarly. I think it was the last time I was there, actually. But still my favorite track.
Yeah,
Need to get back there and redeem myself. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Talk.
Oh, sorry.
So let's talk quickly before Corey asks you next question. Let's talk accidents. What's some of the accidents that you can just enlighten us on, mate, over your racing career? Don't have to go into it too graphically, or have you had many or any?
No, that's probably the worst right there.
Yeah.
That
Oh, really?
alluded to. Yeah, it's I ended up getting my hand caught in the wheel and busting up my wrist pretty bad. So I got plates put in here, and it was pretty gnarly. But other than that, I've had one roll in the saloon. I broke a little piece off both thumbs actually on the steering wheel. That's probably the worst of it. Had a few big hits in the fence and stuff like that. Obviously, trying too hard, but that happens.
That's part of it. Grant Reed, the Pennzoil car. Grant Reed was the name we're alluding to.
Oh, yeah,
Grant
for Richie's
Reed,
car, yes.
For Richie's,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was on the Grant Reed. Go Books. You're going to ask a question.
I was just going to say to mention about Dan's sponsors. About how important our sponsors are to race, and just everybody can see his sponsors scrolling across the top of the screen. The interview there. If you recognise them, go and support them. Then you're supporting Dan by supporting the sponsors. So I just thought I'd say that. You see the names across. We've got Glenn's Glass and Aluminium. I'll even say it for you, Dan, having to save you even to remember, mate.
There you go.
Penrite Oil, Aspects, is it Aspect Construction, Lama, Volkid, Vantage. I think that's it I've got for you scrolling there. But is Glenn your main sponsor, are they, mate?
Yeah, Glenn's, he's been with me for probably 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive help to my career.
That's awesome, eh? So, you can't do it without them, can you? Sponsors and family and everything like that, can you, mate?
Nah, not at all. I've been very lucky actually to have such good sponsors like Glenn's and obviously the Cowlings. Been involved with them and their help over the years has been massive to actually just to be able to keep on track,
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Scott Honeybone, Pro X2 chassis, is that right?
X1.
X1, there you go, Scott. Pro X1. Pro X1 chassis. Philip Shergold, if he has one, who's Dan's biggest rival on track?
Oh man, there's tons.
Everyone that's on there the same time as you.
Yeah, but probably a standout would be Chris Cowling. Whenever we have a point where we're racing together, we always. I think I enjoy it most because we're like brothers. So we just
Yep.
we're both passionate about racing and we both want to win, but we always give each other room. There's no there's no rubbing panels or anything like that. Or if there is, we can laugh about it afterwards. So yeah, and he's one of the best in the game at the moment. So if whenever I can catch him, it's Chris Carling probably.
Awesome. Hey, we spoke sponsors before. I want to talk crew. Mike Pugh, Dan, you've got one of the best men to do your setups. You've got the best man to do your setups. And Noel, that's why he goes well. Noel. Who's
No?
Noel? Yeah, Noel.
I don't know. I'm guessing he's maybe.
Mike Pugh, Dan, you have got the best man to do your setups.
It might have got him
And Noel.
confused. Didn't Noel Phipps, as he talked about, he used to be on
Not too
Fluffy's
sure.
car and a few others around, but did he
Yeah.
work on yours, Dan?
Yeah, he's been in a couple times now and then and given a few tips here and there. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. So let's talk crew, mate. Yeah, the importance of your crew, because you do all the racing on the track, obviously, and the crew that do all the hard yards behind the scene. How many in your crew, mate, and the family that's involved?
Right now it's just me, mum and dad, and we got Darcy's been involved with us. Darcy Webb has helped us a lot over the years. And Brett Morley is another one. His son Johnny Morley races stock cars, but Brett works. He's a mechanic.
Yep.
For Dad, so he helps quite often and comes away with us. My partner Nikki comes along now and helps out, but we're a pretty small crew at the moment, but we're getting by, so it's all good.
It's all good. That's the main thing, mate. As long as you're getting by in a small crew. It's amazing how many drivers I've interviewed here on Cockpit Media over many months now. And you're asking the crew question, and you're surprised, actually, because it's just a handful of people who get in there and do the hard yards behind the scenes. It blows me away, actually. I'm expecting to hear someone doing this, someone does this, but someone does that. But it's just a small knit crew. Noel Phipps was part of Terry Corrin back in the day. Scott, you're right, 100% right. Keep those questions coming in. We've got some awesome prizes we made mention of. Poster there, Dan's going to autograph. I think Dan's got a bit of a t-shirt for us or something he's going to give away as well. And also throw in the mix too, Madu Goodley is going to do an artistic drawing of the 124M. Thanks, Madu, for that and the offer as well. So keep the questions coming in, and plenty going on in the world of Speedway. So what is happening, Dan, with Speedway now? Obviously with the injury, the steering wheel is hung up for the season, is it?
Yeah, that's it for us, unfortunately. Was hoping to do Palmy this weekend, but obviously, cut a little bit short. But it's not the worst thing in the world, We're pretty keen to get into the car and figure out what we can do for next season. So, it's all good.
It might be a blessing in disguise, mate, with the short off season we've got this time round, with the.
Yeah. It's still going to be tight, Like we like to give the car a birthday every year, but got kind of pushed to the side last off season because we weren't sure about how much racing we were going to do. But and obviously it turned out we only sort of had half a season anyway. So the car's sort of it's gone out with the same body and same decals as the season before, which is not what we usually do. We like to change it up and bring out something new every year. But it's one of those weird seasons where COVID's played a big role. So hopefully next one we get a little bit more racing and that'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
the season seems to be a bit later too, and like many people who go in to watch racing live now, they have told and mentioned a lot, it's getting a lot colder at the racetrack, even though, it's finishing sometimes between 7, 8, 9 o'clock. It starts at 4, 5 or whatever it is now. Just seems to be one of those seasons. It's different. What are we in now? 1st of June today, and already blooming racing.
1st of June, that's a bit of worry.
Yeah. So overseas rate. Oh, sorry, go Books.
No, I was just going to say. So does the car get stripped down now? Is it because we like to talk to people about the off season as well? Because a lot of people see what you do during the season, but no one knows what happens in that off season side of it. So does it get a complete strip down, clean, straighten, check, and what's involved there for you guys?
Yeah, generally we'll strip it down and new body panels, replace anything that looks rough, or paint anything up that needs painting. At this point, my car probably weighs almost 100 kgs, more than what it needs to,
Yep.
from little bits and pieces I've added on, and
Yeah.
things I've tried, like always trying to not reinvent the wheel, but just get that edge. So there's a lot of things on the car that I need to cut out to bring it back down to a more relative weight. It's
That makes quite a bit of difference, doesn't it? 100 kgs. People don't think it's much, but in the racing world, that could be half a second on a track, couldn't it? Or or
yeah, no, for sure. And I didn't actually realize how much I've added to the car from little bits and pieces
Yeah.
I've done over the last sort of couple seasons. But we raced at Kiki about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, and I jumped on the scales, and it was like, about 100 more than I needed to be, and I was like, oof, you put this car on a diet, like sometimes it just gets away, and it's like, oh yeah. But so apart from that, just a little tidy up around the place, maybe look at some new things that we could try. Try, like I say, get that edge, but for the most part, the car's going pretty well. We're pretty happy with it. So.
Oh, good.
Good. Look, talking of the next car and everything, James has put a question here. The next livery should be epic. What's the next livery going to look like? He's put something here in the comments: black and red racing stripes.
Sure, why not?
Oh, who knows?
I would love to. You always have to. I always have based it around my sponsor. If my main sponsor's Glenn's, and the car's going to be blue and white. It's just, so you got to sort of make it so the sponsor stands out more than anything else. The number, the colors, or anything at all. If I had my way, I'd. I don't know what the car would look like. Probably. I don't know, probably stupid, but but you have to make it all relative to the sport.
I must admit, I like the clean look. I like that white, all that white with that slight with the glens along the side. I think that clean look really appeals to me. Like just nice, simple. Your sponsor stands out like dogs. I shouldn't say that. I've got to be careful with my words. But it's it's there, and let's face it, we all know it's your car when it's going around the track, so there's no doubt. So I think what you've got looks fantastic and done a great job of it, because like you say, you want that sponsor to stand out, don't you? They're the ones that are supporting you the biggest. So yeah, I think it looks great. Yeah.
Awesome. Overseas racing, mate. Has Dan Corrin done anything overseas?
Yeah. No, I've spent about 9 months collectively over the years in America racing.
That's right.
Late models, and trying to see what they're like. But that was wicked experience. Like there's for about 3 years in a row, I was going over for 3 months at a time, just crewing for different race teams over there, and trying to learn new things, and hopefully getting a drive at the end of it. So the first 2 years I did it, I managed to get quite a few drives, probably about 7 or 8 nights at a racetrack in a car. It wasn't the greatest experience in terms of the car that I managed. Like, the deal that I put together was pretty backyard. It was like you pay me this much a night to race the car with no risk involved. Say if the engine blows or something like that, it wasn't on me. So to have that kind of deal, you weren't going to get the flashiest of gear, So I did that for a few nights, and man, it was an experience. Like, really cool, really cool. Met some crazy people, and had some okay results. I think the best I got was a third in a feature over there, so that was cool. But other than that, it was more of an experience thing for sure.
It's quite a big deal, the big late model stuff over in the States. So it's like you said, it's just about night after night after night. They are professional drivers, obviously. Bigger tracks, completely different setup of a car. And when you take a look at everything that's a setup, whether it's around the car, the whole crew, the whole trucks, the whole family wagon stuff and everything, it would have been a huge experience.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was crazy. It was a crazy experience. I had to thank Willie K for that. Willie K, he, I just mentioned to him I wanted to go see what it's all about over there, and the fact that like he's been over there the last sort of I don't know 50 years. He's been going
Yeah.
back to the States and obviously made a lot of contacts and stuff, and hooked me up with the race team, and yeah, and managed to make some friends over there, and yeah, I have a lot to owe to Willie K because he really put his name on the line for me,
Mm.
and he barely knew me. I was like a friggin' young saloon driver that just thought he was the best driver in the world, but not really. He took me over there under his wing and introduced me to a lot of people and told them I was an engineer and that I was a good racer and stuff like that. And the rest was sort of up to me. And yeah, I made some really cool friends over there. I've got a lot of contacts and stuff. But yeah, that was one of the best experiences I did. I think any young guy that wants to go racing, um, go over to America and just see what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, bro. That's cool. Yes. Have you done anything across the ditch in Australia? Have you done any of the racing over there at all, or just the American experience?
Just the American,
Right.
yeah. I'd
Big,
love to. I'd love to go to Aussie.
yeah. Are they big ass tracks? Massive, huge tracks. We know the likes of your Eldoras and all these other big tracks. Are they massive and all that?
Not all of them, no. Some of them are little like bull rings, like
Yeah.
smaller than Rotorua. Some of them are just really tight, and there's not much like safety that goes into them. Like you would think, being America, that everything's all the tracks are like Eldora, but
Yeah.
most of them are pretty. Most of them are just out in the cornfields, and there's like I'm not kidding. And then most of them, not all of them even have safety fences, or they got road barriers as a wall. They're pretty rough, and it's crazy. Like because they'll be racing at these tracks in the middle of nowhere, and there'll be massive crowd, and they're racing for 10 grand to win, and it's like it just seems like you're in another planet. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Bloomingfield and many others, Lernerville. They don't have no walls around the outside, just a bankment. If you go off, well, you go off, and see you later.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and yeah, some of them don't have walls at all. You just fall off.
Yeah, fall off the side, and that's it.
Yeah.
Let the racing carrying on by. But what an experience! That's something you've had the opportunity to do as a young man. Obviously, Willie K saw some talent in you, mate. Not many drivers, that have been at the top end scale of the Super Saloon class over years. They would love to have that experience. But one day, maybe Aussie. You reckon with the development of the Super Saloon, the way it seems to be having this kind of late model look or the 4 bar or anything like this, is that the future the class is going to move to? Do you think in your mind?
It's seeming that way. We're in the early stages of I guess, a transition here, but I think there's still a lot of potential in the generic 4 bar torsion rear
Yeah.
or the sprint car rear that we've run with for many years. I think it's a lot to do with the tracks that we race at. When we get holes and stuff like that. Our cars, the old school cars, kind of handle them a lot better.
Mm.
But there's obviously a shift happening with these cars, and there's a lot of innovation happening in the background. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I say, it's hard because you get nights that the tracks are really rough and those cars don't handle well at all. But then you get nights that the tracks are quite smooth and slick, what they mostly are in America, and it's pretty hard to get near those things. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still pretty even at the moment. I think
Yeah.
it'll take a while before it really takes over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally, mate. We'll see how things develop. Like everything seems to be developing over the year in the years to come as well. Hicktown tracks, eh? That's what some people call it in the comments. Hicktown tracks. Oh, it's so cool. Have you actually driven Pete Dixon's car? Have you had a go at that? Because now we're talking that type of car.
No, I
No.
haven't. No,
Yeah.
Chris is racing that car at the moment,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously pretty well, exceptionally well. But I think Chris has sort of only what's he done? Probably 3 or 4 meetings,
Mm.
but and obviously done really well. I think won most nights in the car, but Chris is an exceptional driver too. So we have to remember that. And a lot of people are probably a bit nervous about this new style of car and what's happening with these 4 bars and things like that. But you have to remember the guys that are running them, like Chris and Mark Osborne and things, that they're like the best of the best,
Yeah.
as well. And Pete Dixon, for him to win that title in that car, you wouldn't be surprised if he did it in a normal torsion bar
Yeah.
car either. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of potential, and obviously it's been shown with those cars. But we have to remember the guys that are piloting them are savages behind the wheel.
Mm. Awesome, mate. Hey, what do you think of the? You mentioned the Osborne name. Young Ashton has been peddling the crate engine. A good way to move forward with the class they're in, with the crate.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a huge amount about it, but obviously Ashton's had some success, and
Yeah.
um, if it's like it sounds like it's quite a cheap
Yeah.
alternative to
Yeah.
what people have been spending on motors, so I can't see why that would be a bad thing. Obviously, there's people that are nervous about that too because they're worried about it being so much better than the package they've got and things like that. But man, anything that's gonna, I guess, help grow the class, which in that case you would think lowering costs would be a good thing.
Hard out.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
I'd disagree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Big Spraybrooks just asked a question. Would you come back to Gisborne if the Super Saloons came back there?
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
Hard out.
yeah. I'd love to.
And a
Yeah.
heartbeat, mate, eh? Hey, I saw a question we missed too from before, back from Sean Kennedy. He says, would you race any other class? We always get that question every time for a guest, actually. What other class would you ever go at if you had a chance,
I think it'd be midget. I think that's probably one of my top on the list, midget or sprint car. But yeah, I love the midget class. I love watching them in the States and what they do, and they always seem to have awesome racing. The classes, it's an international thing. We got the same thing here as what we do in the States, so that's a cool aspect. But yeah, I love midgets. So I think
Okay.
that'd be the top. That'd be the top one for sure.
Talking of international, one of the stars that used to come over to the Burger King Pro Series was Bobby Pierce. Bobby Pierce, he used to come over and race. Did you race alongside with him in any of the races? Then I can't remember. Did you race with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely race with him. I ended up actually crewing for him. He was one of the race teams I crewed for in the
Oh,
States.
okay.
Which was the season after, basically their on season is our off season. So I
Yeah.
spent our off season over there crewing for him, which was pretty crazy experience. But yeah, no, I had some good racing with him here, and then yeah, crewed for him over there. So still good mates. We chat pretty often.
Awesome.
Stuff. So
Cool, bro. Yes, we'll mention the Give a Little page as well there, Scott. Thanks for that comment. We'll make mention of that. Just quickly, Dan, before we do wrap it up, we got to get out of here, mate. Got to let you go and enjoy a bit of life for the rest of the day that's around at this stage. With the injury, when we caught up a little while back, you're getting prepared for a boxing fight. What's going to happen with that, mate? Obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure because that thing's about 9 weeks away.
Okay.
The hand therapist told me it was probably like a 10-week healing period. So it sort of gives me only a couple weeks, maybe if things are going well, to train for the fight. So
Oh,
it really throws a spanner for sure.
All
The
right.
fight was meant to happen in March, but COVID's just pushed it out further and further. So it's like, yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'll
Okay.
train like it's happening, but I'll see how the healing process is going. The therapist told me definitely not, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right, sweet as bro, and fitness and everything. I know you love it. You and your partner get into it. You do everything you can. You're out there supporting each other. It's just a big thing you do, and it's away from speedway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a massive part of our life now. Just doing something that takes the mind off everything else that goes on in the world, and yeah, it's a good break from yeah, the craziness of speedway. I love it, but it's good to have something else that you do that's hard, that really tests your physical and mental ability. You know.
You love the outdoors, mate. You love keeping yourself active, eh? You know, you said earlier in the piece, I thought to myself, well, you should have been doing nitro circles or crusty demons, something like that. You love living life on the edge, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, I got enough injuries as it is, just doing the everyday stuff, man.
Mm. DK said a good comment here, or just put the gloves on Nikki. She's got a lethal hook, bro.
Yeah, we've had a few sparring sessions, definitely. Yeah, no, I know. I gotta, yeah, be careful.
And on that happy note, mate, we'll leave it with that laughter and that nice little touch
have,
to
you,
the end of our interview.
have you got anything anyone you want to thank, or anyone you want to talk about your sponsor, or anyone like that, mate? While you got the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I just want to thank Glenn's Glass and Aluminum for the help over the years. Massive, massive input to my career. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for Glenn and his team. So if you ever get a chance to support Glenn's Glass and Aluminum or Vantage Windows and Doors,
Awesome.
you're doing me a favor by doing that. And yeah, other than that, yeah, like someone just mentioned before, they give a little page for Pete. It's on my page, my racing page, if you want to check it out. Yeah, obviously everyone appreciates if you could do anything there, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Awesome, bro.
mate.
Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap for tonight, Dan. You done well, mate. You held up well.
We might ask you just to hang around for a couple of minutes and go through some questions with us and see if we can pick some out, eh? Would that be okay, Dan, or you in a hurry to go?
Yeah. Would you mind if I took a toilet break, or is that
Yeah,
not
no,
good?
well, I'll put you to the
no,
side.
no,
And I'll
no.
put you to the side, and me and Kins will wrap things up, and we'll leave it
All
at
right.
that. Thanks, Dan. We appreciate your time, mate. Thank you.
Let's do that. Sounds
Sweet
good.
as.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Sweet as. No, thank you. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, and families and kids who have been watching the show, Cockpit Media, every Wednesday, 7:30. Have a bit of talk about what's happening in the cockpit online racing world as we do. And then, of course, our special guest there was none other than Dan Corrin, who
Oh,
joined
you forgot
us.
his name there for a minute, Kins.
Yeah, I was thinking Dan Corrin for a second. All these Dans I've been talking about, Dan Corrin. Yeah, young guy that I've known for many years, so just awesome to have a chat with and see where life is with him. And yeah, things are taking a bit of a break, I would guess, with the boxing, but we'll have to wait and see. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who've joined in with the comments. Some of the lucky winners from the comments will make an announcement on the Cockpit Racing and Media Facebook page, so just keep an eye on there as well. Also with the weekend coming up, as we made mention at the start of the show, Cockpit Online Racing celebrates 10th birthday, and I know, Craig, you're excited. You're counting the days, mate. It's been a work in progress with COVID and everything else. I know you're going to enjoy yourself, mate. I know you're amped and looking forward to it. I know you're going to have a beer because of Richie.
Absolutely.
But also just catching up with all the boys.
Yeah.
And like Craig said at the start of the show, look, we have online racing names. My name's Kinzer, but you get to see me on the show. Booker, simple, Craig Booker. Dirty NZ, Steve Emmett, we've interviewed him. Mark Eagle, well, he was someone else one night. There was a little while back.
We'll forget about that one.
Yeah, but just to meet the guys, and you'll get to see some of that. You're going to see a special presentation of the Garage 16 trophies delivered by Aaron and Vince of Garage 16. That is something special, not to be missed between 1 and 2 o'clock this coming Saturday, before all the shenanigans get underway.
Before things look a bit crazy. Hey, listen, I also want to say, Kins, don't forget, probably tomorrow or Friday, I'm going to put it up, people. There's going to be a chance for you to win a 12-month subscription to New Zealand Dirt Track Racing magazine. It's going to be simple. You're only going to have to comment, like the post, like us, and share it. And there's a couple of extra things you can do to get extra entries into the draw. So you can have more than one entry into the draw to win that package. So watch our Facebook. I'll be putting that up. And yeah, it's your chance to win a 12-month subscription to New Zealand Dirt Track Racing magazine, care of Cockpit Media and care of Garage 16 and also New Zealand Dirt Track magazine. So that's pretty exciting stuff. And Jason, everything should be drawn tonight. We always post our winners up normally after the show, as we go through the questions and pick out a winner. So yeah.
All right, sweeties, James. So hopefully you get that one. Yeah, it's a bugger, DK. You're not going to be there. Hey, mate, I'm not going to be there as well. Obviously, as I mentioned at the start of the show,
I've got DK shirt too, Kins.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll give it away next week on the show. DK
we'll give DK shirt away.
Yeah, hopefully Aaron knows what T-shirt he'll have to wear. Richie, we'll see how that
I already spoken to him, Richie Rich. Yeah.
All good. Thanks, everyone. Everyone take care out there as well. Keep an eye on the Facebook page. We appreciate you coming to join us. Next week, we've got another special guest too.
Yes.
Next Wednesday, we're going to catch up and have a chat with Rebecca Barr.
Yep, Rebecca Barr next week. Yep. So join them for that one too. Rebecca's there. And we haven't got any racing this Sunday, people. I do apologise. There may be something on the Monday with some crash and bash stock cars or something, but this Sunday night, because the series is finished. But we thank you. We thank everybody that watched our series and support. And we thank everybody that joins in each week to join the conversation. And exactly. We thank you for joining the conversation, giving us your input on our interviews each week. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Everyone be safe out there when you travel away for your Queen's birthday weekend. Take care, safe travels, and we'll catch you either online sometime soon. Just keep an eye on the cockpit page. Thanks once again to everyone that's joined in the show. Appreciate all your questions. Take care and have a safe long weekend.
G16 Sport, a new platform for Speedway fans. Hundreds of videos, the latest action on demand and free to view. Plus, the Speedway show, Dishing the Dirt. Check out the pay-per-view section for upcoming live streams. Browse Speedway merch and other awesome items in the online shop. Join G16 Nation. Scroll through your newsfeed, post photos and videos, join groups, and connect with the dirt community. Visit g16sport.co.nz today.